SmackDown?
I can tell you that is charcuterie because Ricochet is on Raw. Okay.
It's not shark.
That is a bunch of charcuterie.
All right.
Well, yeah. With that, we're at many
Why you
freaking
got-
matches.
You were talking trash about Drew McIntyre the other day.
I was
Easy,
Right.
easy.
Okay, no. I was just saying he's not number one pick contention.
That's not true.
I mean, but
Okay, stop this violence.
All right.
No more Russell on Russell violence. Unless I'm doing it.
that's funny. All right. So, anyways,
Having the Macho Man Chris Wolf out there was very good for me. There was something that I really wish Little Guapo could have been there for because it's a throwback, in my opinion, to the Attitude Era days. Because said trash can that was being used to beat upon Logan Knight got placed on Logan Knight. And
It
they
was
were
in the trash
taking
can.
turns
just
beating him up in the trash can. And it was great.
that's like definitely.
You're okay. I don't know if he's watching live, but it spoke with Scar a little earlier today, and I know he's going to be watching the podcast a little later on. He's doing a little training right now, but there you heard it, Scar. He said he's going to break out of it, like live on the podcast. He said he can break out of your podcast, or break out of your bear hug. So when you see it,
clip it.
when you see this, now you know what he looks like.
Is going to be the year for West Texas Wrestling, especially at Squared Circle Pro. But July 19th, that is going to be an event that you will not want to miss under any circumstances, because I am dead set to make that night the biggest night in West Texas wrestling history.
And leading the way, and
Stuff.
so you had a B+ on Raw, B- on SmackDown, had a B+ and a B. You want to know what show got an absolute S+ in my opinion?
SCP, that's the one.
That's right. Squared Circle Pro's Tornado Slam. What a show. From start to finish. Damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We had
Has to be this man chilling in the ring with two torn freaking quads. And just still yelling at it, "You're fired," pretty much, like just getting there, like dogging on everybody, not even able to stand, like that right there.
Raw.
Well,
That was Royal Rumble. Still, though, that moment when he slides in, goes to stand up, and just sits down against the rope.
We need to talk about that.
Tickle.
That's how the saying goes.
What? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, tickle, tickle. I think, Rick, if be concerned if he ever comes to you talking about tickle, tickle. Just, I mean,
Hey,
I don't.
all right.
I'm not sure what's going on there.
At the hour and a half mark, I think we've gotten a little.
Again, table. There will possibly be a table there that might or might not have something to do with the match. Come out and see us. I want to say thank you again to everybody in the chat. Thank you to the boys for being here tonight. I want to say thank you to Ross and the boys from Labor 12 for being here. With these guys every time.
What are there?
Okay. The news we received yesterday of the passing of Terry Funk is one that hits all of us, especially us here in West Texas, really, really hard. Terry Funk was a legend in every sense of the word. He is the reason West Texas wrestling is what it is. A hardcore legend, a legend outside the ring. There's wheelhouse. So all I can say is Los Crudos better bring everything they've got, because this is going to be a fight.
I'll say I'm pretty sure I've only heard of like one Texas death match, and didn't David Arquette like almost die?
Did you just talk about
Good
David Arquette?
Lord.
Did you bring David Arquette into a wrestling podcast?
I said, didn't he almost die? Like,
So
Before we get into it, there's been a little controversy, I'll come to find out, so I'm going to have to address it real quick. Apparently, last week I said some things about our new
What's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, the one, the only, the tutorial boss, Guapo. With me, the boy that brings the noise, as always, Little Guapo. What's up, son?
What's going on? Draft day?
Draft day.
Well, draft week. NFL draft day.
And the NFL can pull a little something from the WWE. That's okay. We'll let them do it.
That's fair. You're right.
I want to say what's up to our chat. I want to say what's up to Rick. Thank you for the subscription. Appreciate you there. Rick saying boo sports ball. So we're going to change things up just a little bit. Before we do, of course, want to throw some thank yous out there. I want to say thank you to Ross and the boys from Labor 12 for our intro outro music. The track's called Head Rush, album's called Monsters, and it is good stuff all the way around.
Whole thing, front to back.
I'm telling you, you want to go work out? Listen to Monsters. You want to just sit around the house and vibe? Listen to Monsters. You want to go beat somebody up? Listen to Monsters. You want to do more than that? Call your lawyer.
Your woman just left you. Your dog died. Listen to Monsters.
That's what it's all about right there. So thank you to those guys for our intro outro music. And of course, thank you to American Legacy for our merch. Of course, we've got our Not Your Average Mark hats. We've got our beanies. We've got our skull caps. We've got all sorts of good stuff. We got t-shirts on the way. Got an idea from a friend of the show that very well may have a little something on the back of our shirts. So that's going to be kind of cool. So big thank you to American Legacy, Joseph and the guys for taking care of us. We're going to change the format up a little bit. Normally we do the week in review right now, but I cannot wait to talk about upcoming shows. We've got 2 shows coming up in our area. Of course, the first one being Squared Circle Pro Tornado Slam on May the 4th. Then we've got BCW Head Games right there in Levelland, Texas on May 11th. Back-to-back Saturdays with all the West Texas independent wrestling you could possibly ask for. So we're going to get into it, man. We're going to talk about these, then we'll get into our weekend review and jump on into the draft. Before we do, got to say what's up to, again, Rick, J-Reb, Cameron, what's up, brother? Daddy Boss 74 in the chat. Glad you guys are here today. Love it when you show up. So let's talk about Tornado Slam a little bit. I know you haven't had the chance to see a whole lot of the matches that are coming up, but man, oh man.
Bangers.
Well, let's match number 1, the real deal Nobi Bryant versus the certified go-getter Draven Reeves.
All right.
I see this one's going to be a good match because, Nobi's agile, Nobi's a big dude, he's strong, but you can't count out Draven Reeves. They call him the certified go-getter for a reason. Like he is all over the place all the time.
Yeah, I was fixing to say, he earned his name. He didn't just start calling himself that.
Absolutely. So that's going to be a great match. We also have a handicap tag match. The Living Proof, Justin Taylor, friend of the show, our boy going up against the Midnight Rider, Marquise Jackson, and Nate Collins. Now, there's some history here. There's a whole lot of history in this match. Justin has teamed with both of these guys. Justin's been jumped by both of these guys. I mean, there's a lot of animosity in this match.
I'll say, the last couple shows, it's always Justin just getting beat up by one of them.
Justin not one to stay down, though. I have no doubt in my mind Justin's already working and planning for this one.
Uphill battle, that's for sure.
This is one of the ones I'm really excited about. 6-pack challenge for the number 1 contendership for the Squared Circle Pro Heck Yeah Radio iPay-per-view Championship. Listen to the talent in this match. Diablo Blanco versus a debuting Kalel Santana versus the love machine himself, Tino Valentino, versus Tio JC Bravo versus Baby Samoa versus also debuting Hondro Zuma.
Dang. That's a star-studded match. There's gonna be a lot going on in that ring.
There is, and the winner of this match, of course, getting to go against the Heck Yeah Radio iPay-per-view champion, who is currently Chris Watson.
I was about to say you should be the number one contender.
I should be the number one contender against Chris Watson. He don't want to smoke though. We go from that into a women's triple threat match. We've got the trophy case, Nikki Chase, of course, always a lot of fun to watch. Had her on the show not long ago. Real fun person to talk to. Versus Stormy Renee. Stormy Renee, of course, on AEW going against Tony Storm a while back. And then, of course, making her debut, the Rebel, Ruby Devlin. These three ladies, it's going to be a fight. There's just no question about that.
This gets just a taste of what's coming in July.
No, absolutely. Yeah, equal rights and left. This is just a little tiny preview. We also have a women's contention match, SOS versus the Rising Phoenix of Texas, Nova Phoenix. Nova Phoenix been making waves, man. She is out there doing her thing, and glad to see SOS coming back. You know, she was injured for a while. She's making her way back. The leg is good. Happy to have her back, but she's got her hands full with Nova Phoenix.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah, Nova Phoenix is on a mission. So I'm looking forward to that. And then just those two matches alone, just looking at those two matches, the triple threat, women's triple threat, and the contention match, the women's GM Medusa just absolutely killing it with these women's division matches.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's got an eye for talent. I mean, what can you say? She knows a thing or two.
She's seen a wrestling match or two in her day.
Yeah.
This, of course, is going to take us into round 2 of the Squared Circle Pro Texas Tag Team Tournament. We've got 3 matches. We've got Code, which, of course, is the Smooth Criminal Rob Boris and the Spotlight Logan Knight.
Oh,
Going up against the Russell twins. And no, I'm not talking about you and Hunter.
damn it.
Cameron and Alan Russell. These guys, I've seen them once. Say what?
I said, hey, that's not me or Hunter.
That's gimmick infringement, man.
I'm telling you.
You have to call the attorneys. These guys, they are pure energy from the time they come through the curtain till the time they go back through. All over the place. Their move set. I mean, they're brothers. Who knows you better than your brother?
Yep. I know from
So-
experience.
But they, of course, going up against Rob Boris and Logan Knight. And I'm going to say this. I don't always like the way Rob and Logan win their matches, but they always seem to win their matches. So they know what they're doing in the ring, and they know what they're getting into with this match. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one turns out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, boo. But what can you do, I guess?
You know, our second tag team tournament round 2 match, the Art of Royalty, Donovan Pierce and His Royal Highness King Kizzy, going up against the Riot. That, of course, being the Ring Bully Stevan Remsen and Slam God Reggie Lincoln. So, Stevan Remsen, they call him the Ring Bully, and they do it for a reason. Like, he is going to beat you up. He's not going to wrestle you. He's just going to beat you up and take
Just
your lunch
smack
money.
you around.
He's going to take your lunch money, and he's going to be waiting for you the next day. That's just that's how this works.
But
of course, Reggie
Art of
Lincoln.
Royalty, they're good.
Yeah, Art of Royalty is, man. I've been really impressed with what I've seen by them. All 4 guys in this match, man. The Art of Royalty, they're powerhouses, man. They really are. And they're going up against a set of powerhouses. Reggie Lincoln, they call him the Slam God for good reason. I mean,
Yeah.
he's always got that slam on standby. So it's going to be a hell of a match. And honestly, I could not pick a winner in this match right now.
I'm going to go with the Art of Royalty.
Think the Art of Royalty takes it?
I think so. I'm on that bus.
I don't know. I feel like the ring bully may steal the king's crown. I'm just
He'd steal whatever, but the 1, 2, 3 is going their direction.
we'll have to see how it turns out. It's going to be a good one for damn sure. And our third SCP Texas Tag Team Tournament Round 2 match, our boys Downfall Cathedral, Ramrock, Ryan Riven, going up against somebody that we haven't seen before. Well, we haven't seen in the Squared Circle Pro ring. I'm excited about this one. Of course, I'm talking about the Canadian Pitbulls, Elias Castaneda, Eric Angel. Man. This is going to be a hell of a match.
I'll say Downfall Cathedral, they're insane. You should not be doing the things you're doing at their size, but they're doing it. They're doing it.
You talking about the, flying over the top rope and whatnot?
Yeah, jumping off, flipping off the apron. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm going to tell you now. They said it when they were on the show the first time. They're not here to win a match. They're here to win the whole damn thing, and they've got my vote. But when you take them and you put them across the ring from the Canadian Pitbulls, now the stakes are a little higher.
Yeah, I say changes things up just a wee bit.
So we talked about the 6-pack challenge for the number 1 contendership to the Heck Yeah Radio iPay-per-view title. Well, we have a Heck Yeah Radio iPay-per-view title match, 2 out of 3 falls.
Dang.
Brian Rage Rivera, of course, he's going up against Chris Watson, and when you get Chris Watson, you get La Migra. Unfortunately, that's the way it works. Brian
Yep.
Rage Rivera ready for this. Eluvio and Baby Samoa in his corner. Chris Watson with Diablo Blanco and Charlie 50 in his corner.
At
Kinda
least
even odd.
at least he's brought back up, At this point, you show up to any match with any La Migra member without backup, you're setting yourself up for failure. So
Absolutely. It's going to be a problem. A whole
Yep.
ass problem.
yeah, glad he brought backup.
And he brought some pretty good backup. Baby Samoa already with an axe to grind against La Migra, at Brian Rage Rivera, Eluvio. All of them are not exactly fans of La Migra and ready for a fight. If what we saw at the last show is any kind of signal at all, they are ready for a fight.
Yeah, that was a car wreck. I don't know if you'd call that a fight.
It was insanity in a cage. That's what it was.
Yeah, it's like it's just a controlled car wreck.
There was cookie sheets and trash cans and trash can lids and kendo
Yeah,
sticks and
Everything.
Babs
Yeah.
made her debut or her long-awaited return. So yeah, it was pretty wild, and I expect this to be just as wild. I'm not gonna lie. We get a grudge match that was set up at Spring Break. Jeb Bingham, longtime friend of the show, one of our boys, going up against Clayton Bloodstone. Of course, Clayton Bloodstone, hired by, I believe it was Code, hired them to cost Certified Wildcard their spot in the tag team tournament. And since then, it's been just eating away at Jeb. And so Clayton challenged him, and it's on. It took Jeb about 2.5 seconds to say, yes, I will kick your ass.
Yes, sir. I can't wait until somebody really humbles Code. They need a good humbling.
Code needs a good humbling, do they?
Yeah, they need a good humbling.
Well, the Russell twins, they may be a bit humbling.
If they don't, the Russell Bros made.
All right, there it is. Logan Knight, Rob Boris. You already heard it.
I always
If
do
the
this.
Russell twins
Why do I
don't
always
get
do
you,
this to
The
myself?
Russell brothers are gonna.
Why do I? At least I brought Hunter with me this time.
Yeah, see, this will help you out a little bit more. Trying to make your in-ring return already. Golly.
Well, I did hurt the last person I was in the ring with.
That's true. You did tweak his back a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
So
I mean, Apples to apples, same thing. He's hurt. I heard him.
So the next match we're going to talk about is kind of an interesting one. It's been building up. It's the Lost in the Mist blindfold match. You've got Lau, the creepy, I'm not sure what happened to Sean Lau guy, going up against the defender of truth, Gabriel Alexander. Now, the last time these two met, it was in an Asian death match, and it lived up to its name. It was brutal. There were tacks, there were chains, there was blood. Like it was brutal. And Gabriel Alexander said it ain't going down like that, because I don't think you were there for this one, son, but to let you know how personal it got, Lau ripped the shirt off of Gabriel Alexander, the bloodied shirt, and dropped it right in front of his mama.
Oh no.
And Gabriel
Brother.
did not take that well and has challenged him to a match of his choice. So we end up with the Lost in the Mist blindfold match. And the Lost in the Mist thing, that's
Sounds kind of scary.
well, I mean, that's kind of where we lost our ring announcer, Josh Ryan. I went to ask Lau what kind of match he was going to have. What, is he accepting Gabriel's challenge to any kind of match? Caught the Mist himself, kind of shining wizard to the head. They had to hire some bum off the street to be a ring announcer.
Yeah, I was about to say, watch out.
I do have the opportunity, and I'm thankful for it, to announce this show. So, Rick, TJ, all the brass for Squared Circle Pro, thank you for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank
Still
Lau
hoping,
as well. You got to thank Lau.
yeah. Well, I mean, thanks, Lau. Josh Ryan, man, if you're watching this, if you can see yet, I mean, I don't know what is in that mist he shoots out there, but here's hope you get better soon, dude. Man, I know that was crazy. Wishing you the best. Hope you get better soon. But this match is going to be intense because it's very, very personal for Gabriel Alexander. So
I'm excited to see like what the match entails.
Well, I've seen blindfold matches before, and some of them were not great, and some of them were really, really good. I don't see, given the people in this match, how it could be anything but epic.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I am too. I'm excited for this one. I'm also excited for the next one. Squared Circle Pro West Texas Women's Championship match. The mystifying one herself, Misty Marks, going up against Megastar Angel.
Okay.
Yeah. This is good. This may be one of the biggest challenge Misty Marks has had as Squared Circle Pro West Texas Women's Champion.
Yeah. Man.
I mean,
I
Angel.
always got to rock with Misty, but
Oh yeah, Misty's our girl, no question about that.
yeah,
Misty, if you're watching right now, the podcast is behind you. We got you.
we rocking with you.
But it's going to be a banger of a match. There's no way it's not. If you haven't ever seen Megastar Angel, she's very well traveled. She's been rocking the indies for like everywhere she goes. So if you haven't seen Megastar Angel, get on YouTube after the podcast, look her up because she does some things. I'm just saying. But then again, Misty Marks, she does her thing too. So
Oh yeah.
and
You
her
handle business.
thing is to win. So
I don't know. I was about to sign language stand on business, but I don't remember how to do it.
it's standing on business.
There you go. See? All right.
Thank
You know.
you. I
Yeah.
do know a little bit.
Thank
of
you,
sign.
DK Metcalf.
Yes, thank you, DK Metcalf. Appreciate it. That brings us to the last match that I have so far. Like Rick can let us know if we're missing anything, but the last match I have on my list, Squared Circle Pro Heavyweight Championship match, the Thunderbird, Damo McCullough, making his way back to Lubbock, back to Squared Circle Pro to take on the king of thick style himself, Sam Stackhouse, your
That's going to be
Squared Circle Pro Heavyweight Champion.
That's going to be a hard hitting match.
It is, and any of you that saw the last half of the last show of spring break. I will be making my way out of the ring much faster for that match because, yeah, I ain't gonna be in there for that.
Okay.
Rick coming in on the chat saying we just finalized the final 2 bouts for the event in the last hour. They will be officially announced in the morning, bringing the total number of bouts to 15, being the largest squared circle pro card in their 13-year history.
That's 15 straight bangers. They
yeah,
never
fire match.
disappoint. Never.
And okay, let's break down the numbers here. 15 matches, bangers every one of them. $10 at the door.
Can't beat that.
$10 at the door. What? We sold out last show. Like there were people wanting to come watch the show that had to sit outside and watch it on heckyeahradio.com because we didn't have no more places to put people.
I was about to say, I almost got I went out for a minute and almost wasn't able to come back in. I was like, I got seats. They were like, no, you don't. It's so full. There's not seats in there. I was like, I promise. I got 2 seats in there.
Yeah, well, this time when you show up, you're going to remember to wear your Not Your Average Mark Wrestling podcast shirt so they know who you are.
Bingo.
All in all, I cannot wait for this. That is this Saturday night. Or next Saturday night. Next Saturday.
No.
Today's Thursday. So
Yeah,
next Saturday.
Yeah.
Next Saturday, May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
I knew it was going to get said. I knew it. May the 4th, Jake's Back Room. It's going to be on. And for those that can't be there live, what the hell? Get there.
Yeah.
I make my exceptions, of course, for J-Reb because he's out repping Texas and California. J-Reb, of course, for you, always live, heckyeahradio.com. That takes us to BCW Head Games, May 11th, TMW Event Center, Levelland, Texas. There's some things happening here now.
I want to point out, correct me if I'm wrong, this will be the kind of 1 year debut of our dip into independent West Texas independent wrestling, correct? Head Games was our first show
No.
last year.
Separate Ways was our
Separate
first show.
Ways was, yep,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, the March show is our first show.
Yeah.
So we have officially made a year in the independent wrestling world, and what a hell of a roller coaster ride it's been. And it's thanks to all of you, and we couldn't be more grateful. So BCW Head Games, we get the return. The last time you saw him would have been at Hot Blooded last year in July. We get the return of Smoke the Reaper.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Smoke the Reaper coming back and doing it big. He's going up against Michael Darkheart, who he's had a very storied back and forth with. Like they have been at each other for years. And so when Michael Darkheart found out Smoke the Reaper was going to be there, he's like, oh yeah, I want a piece of that. They are looking to end the feud. Winner take all. So much so that Smoke the Reaper is your Oasis champion. And he's putting his coveted Oasis championship belt on the line against Michael Darkheart.
Dang. This is first match on the card.
That is going to be a banger of a match.
Jeez.
Lots of personal issues there that are going to get worked out in the hexagon, man. And people look past that, but BCW, the only 6-sided ring in West Texas.
Where else you gonna see a 6-sided ring?
Nowhere. Levelland,
Nowhere.
Texas.
Yeah, nowhere in West Texas, that's for sure.
So I'm looking forward to that match. I'm happy to see Smoke the Reaper making his way back. Got a chance to see Michael Darkheart do his thing in Wilson not long ago. And dude's got some game, I ain't gonna lie.
Good.
Got another
We'll have
match,
to
got
bring
a debut of the Hippocratic Nightmare, Marcus MD, Dr. Marcus.
Dr. Marcus.
And the doc is stepping across the ring from the concrete gorilla himself, Big Sid.
Okay.
So when they say, is there a doctor in the house? Well, he may not be.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean,
You know what?
hopefully he just needs to go on last so he can be there for all the other people. Because after Sid gets a hold of him, like you said, there ain't gonna be no doctor available.
You see, I get that. I get why you would say that, but I'm gonna put my 2 cents out there. Said, I hope you're listening. I hope you're watching. If you are, glad you're at the show. But let me say something. Let me talk to you. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
LA Knight ain't using
That's
that.
gimmick infringement, but
It's Thursday night. I'm borrowing. He ain't using it.
oh, all right, fair. I got you.
Big Sid, concrete gorilla. I know you have come into BCW and you have absolutely decimated and dominated everything you've come around to. All you've talked about is how maybe somebody's going to earn that Gorilla Militia shirt. Well, I had mine on last week and I worked like 15 minutes to earn the $20 to buy it.
Ha!
I'm gonna put it like this, man. I know you're coming to town. There's gonna be smoke in the city, as you put it, and you know you're coming to wreck everything and leave, as Roman Reigns would say. But I think you may have more in your way than you think you do. When you get done with the doc, me and you need to talk, man, because I still ain't forgot the fact that you know, were pushing Scar along to.
Hey, we don't
That's
got to
my
bring up the
boy.
past. We don't got to bring up the past, okay?
Yeah, I understand you don't want to bring up the past, but it's still fresh with me. So me and you got words to have, bro. Just saying.
All right, we could have left that part out. You could have just said you had to talk.
We have to have
Jeez.
some words. I am looking forward to the match, though. Big Sid, for everything I've got to say about him, for all the animosity between me and him, dude does what he says. He comes in, he handles business, he leaves. He's going to have his hands full with Marcus MD, though. I'm interested to see how Marcus MD handles the size difference. It should be a good match. I'm looking forward to it.
I hope so.
So we've got a fatal 4-way going on as well. What do you get when you take 4 of the top wrestlers in BCW and put them all in the same ring? You get the match we're going to have at Head Games.
Yeah. Fair.
Because that's exactly what it is. It's for the best. You've got Max Volume Beckett going up against Dorian Robinson versus Jeb Bingham versus the Thunderbird Damon McCullough. Yeah.
Jeez.
The talent in that match alone is great. Like this is going
There's
to
no
be
like stip for the match. It's just a
it's just a straight, we're the 4 best in the league. Let's do it.
dang.
So like it's going to be good.
This could be like, you know, a number 1 contender type of thing, you know, like you hear the names and you think like, oh, this is definitely, you know, for a title shot or something. Just for bragging rights. That's all.
Yeah,
this match.
exactly. This is simply for bragging rights, just to say who's the best out of the who's the best of the best of the best, sir.
Throw you a third.
No doubt in my mind that is going to be a show stealer right there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
going to be insanity
Would hate to go on after that one.
right. But we have 3 other matches going on there, and these all do have stipulations. You've got a triple threat for the BCW Texas Championship. Of course, your BCW Texas champion, the defender of truth, Gabriel Alexander, going up against his former partner, former West Texas King, the Lord of the Lariat, Mac the Franchise. And the 2 of them in the ring, like I said, it's a triple threat. Chris Watson joining the fray.
Oh.
But what if he brings his duster
All right.
and the
I'll
do-rag?
accept that. I'll accept it.
It's going to be a good match. As much trash as I talk about Chris Watson because he's trash, he is a good wrestler.
Garbage.
He is, when he gets in outside of the ring, he's there's community guidelines. I can't say what he is, but
Ah.
once he steps through those ropes, he is an absolute technician, and I will give him that every day of the week. So, as well as Mac the Franchise, Gabriel Alexander know each other, they're both going to have to be on their game going up against Chris Watson.
Oh yeah, he'll sneak in and steal it real quick. He's a sneaky little guy.
He's wiry.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that one. Of course, it is a triple threat, so there can be only one. The winner of that match will be your BCW Texas champion. We've also got a BCW heavyweight championship match. The living proof
Okay.
Justin Taylor putting the belt on the line against Nate Collins.
Well, all right, all right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Nate has a little bit of an advantage putting a beat down on him a week before.
Well, that is unless he puts the beat down on Nate the week before. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. That's fair. But
then-
Nate has a teammate.
But yeah, but his teammate's not going to be here on May the 11th.
Well, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's 1-on-1. Winner gets the belt, man. BCW Heavyweight Championship. Then we get the match that everybody's talking about. Unsanctioned, 1-on-1, winner takes all. The Spotlight Logan Knight versus Mike Caldwell.
Remember that humbling I was talking about earlier?
Yeah. Well,
He's got it.
I've had the chance to talk to Mike, and I mean, this is it. He's coming back for one match, and it's to destroy Logan Knight. And I don't know if
Well,
any of
like
you've
to
had
hear.
the opportunity to look at the BCW socials. Logan Knight put out a promo that made it very, very clear that he's got Mike figured out, and he's not looking to win this match. He's looking to end Mike Caldwell. Like this
A
goes
very,
so much deeper than the match for him.
Yeah, I was gonna say a very. I'm Team Mike all the way, but that was a great promo.
It was a great promo. And same here. I'm Team Mike. Mikey's my boy. But this is going to be. I'm nervous about this match. For one, it's unsanctioned. BCW. You know, the BCW higher up said, we are not going to sanction this match. This is not a BCW sanctioned match. If you do this, you do this on your own.
That's how you know it's personal.
It's going to be insane, and I'm not sure either one of them are going to walk away from it.
Oh no, that'd be bad. Who's gonna
Of
win
course,
though?
your boys will be there doing commentary on this right there front row. You want to come check us out, come say hi at that one. That is BCW Head Games, May 11th, TMW Event Center, Levelland, Texas. Both of these shows, back-to-back weeks, back-to-back Saturdays. Do not miss out. Pick up your tickets. Come to the shows because you're not going to – when I tell you that these are just banger shows every time, I can't stress it enough. And if you've not seen West Texas Independent Wrestling, it is about damn time. So get your tickets. Check them out.
What is it? It's 2 fun-filled Saturdays for a total of $25, correct? Between the 2 shows?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, you got $10 at the door for SCP, $15 for BCW. You can't ask for anything better.
No, hell no. It's going to be great. And I hope to see everybody that can hear this, everybody that can see it. I want to see every one of you there. And I'll be counting. You got to come by. When you show up, you got to come by. You got to say hi to me. I'll hit the little counter thing so that I know all of you showed
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
So,
Dummy, yeah.
yeah. So, before we get into the weekend review, you might notice I'm a little more fancy than I normally am on the podcast. That's because I had the opportunity to go out today and be arm candy for Mama Guapo.
Oh, ain't that cute?
We went and did a thing. So got my spiffy shirt on.
Well, look at you.
Look at me go. Well, let's get into this weekend review because it's been kind of a crazy week as far as WWE goes. we'll get into SmackDown first. LA Knight versus AJ Styles kicking off the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you kick off a show. This match lived up to the hype. It's a WrestleMania rematch. It's a number one contenders match. It's two of the hottest stars on the roster. I mean, there was a lot of hype about this match.
Oh yeah.
For me, LA Knight did what LA Knight does. He worked the outside of the ring. He kept the crowd involved. But what I want to talk about is, you know, I love LA Knight. Yeah, all the time. LA Knight. Yeah. But let's talk about AJ Styles for just a minute.
They don't call him the phenomenal one for nothing.
Well, AJ Styles, and this is pulling the curtain back just a little bit. AJ Styles elevates people. It doesn't matter who he's in the ring with, whether he's in the ring with somebody brand new or he's in the ring with someone the likes of LA Knight or Randy Orton or whoever. He elevates people.
I don't think. Well, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and continue.
I was just going to say, and this was no different. You know, he makes people look better than they already do, and he did it with this. He sold everything Knight did, and he did it well. What were you going to say?
I don't think you could have picked a better first opponent for Cody Rhodes.
No, not at all.
I mean, AJ Styles is I mean, this is a match. It almost feels like Forbidden Door-esque. You know what I mean? Like
A little bit.
something like you kind of never thought you would see, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
No,
it's
and
the
I'm
first
excited
time.
for it.
This is the first time.
Well,
Never
and-
faced each other.
So LA Knight during the match hits a drop kick through the ropes. Couldn't have been done any better. It was the coolest looking thing I've seen in a long time. Like he landed it like it was nothing. Just doo, 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 doo. It's another day at the office. And of course, AJ hit the Pele kick. I've never seen him hit it and it not look just awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
In the end, AJ able to pick up the win. Of course, he had to do it with an eye gouge. We're not going to talk about that. But he hit the phenomenal elbow to get the pin. So as you were talking about just a minute ago, AJ Styles going to Backlash to face Cody Rhodes for the undisputed title.
Tell him what you think about that, Sophie. Tell him what you think. Oh, okay. She don't want it. She's shy. She's camera shy.
She's shy today. Okay. Well, after that, we get Solo and Tama Tonga showing up, and they tell Heyman to bring KO. Bring me Kevin Owens. Kind of a short thing there, and it's leaves you wondering where that's going to go. As we did on Raw a week ago, we get new tag team belts. Nick Aldis unveils the
I think
new WWE tag team titles to A-Town Down Under.
these titles look, Chef's Chris, impeccable. They look like championships.
Not only that, for those that are steeped in the history of the WWE, they look like throwback belts. Like they look like the championship belts of the 90s. Like when everything was big and everything was shiny and everything, championship belt, like you said, looked like a championship belt.
Yep. You see, people were mad that Cody was like holding the belt and wasn't wearing it or have it over his shoulder. Totally like off topic. Did you see people were upset about that?
I'm going to borrow a line from Rick on that. Tell me you're not really a wrestling fan without telling me you're not really.
Yeah.
A wrestling fan.
I was about to
If
say.
you've ever seen Dusty Rhodes carry a belt, if you ever watched Ric Flair back in the day carrying a belt, they carried it the exact same way.
Yep. He is an old school champion, and I love that.
I do too. I think it's great. Of course, I think the funniest part, I'm glad they unveiled the new belts. They look awesome. I love them. I think the funniest part in this was Nick Aldis threatening A-Town Down Under because they, passively, aggressively disrespected Triple H.
Yeah.
Like,
Was
that
his
was
torn?
great.
Doesn't he have a torn bicep or something like that? Right? Do you see his jacket's like super big on one arm?
Yeah, I did see that.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure he's got that big old brace on. I'm pretty sure he tore his bicep or something like that.
With the way WWE's doing right now, it's probably from trying to pick up all that money.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
I watched Triple H on Impulsive, and he talked about I guess Nick Aldis was lifting on it in his free time and tore his pec or his bicep, something like that.
Rick saying in the chat,
Bingo.
if you actually take the time to gripe about wrestling online, you're not as smart as you think you are.
It's bullshit.
Unless you are doing it on a podcast, and then it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine then.
So from that, we go to a number one contenders match for the tag team titles. AOP versus Legado, which Angel and Berto versus the Street Profits versus New Catch Republic.
Until you
What?
said it, I forgot about this match, and I don't know how I forgot about it. This is match of the year, like contender. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
it
This
was
match
so good.
This match was good, but I think the top tier in this match were Tyler Bates and Montez Ford.
Oh yeah,
Just from the athleticism standpoint, holy hell!
yeah. Oh man, it was pure insanity. There were a couple times I thought it was Butch just kept coming out of nowhere.
That's what Butch does. Butch just shows
Well,
up.
or Pete Dunne. Sorry, Pete
Yeah,
Dunne.
I'm sorry. Pete Dunne shows up out of nowhere and just beats the hell out of people and tries to rip their fingers off.
Yeah.
It was a great back and forth in this one. In the end, it was the Street Profits. They get the win. They get the title shot. That's going to be a good match.
Oh yeah.
Street Profits versus A-Town Down Under.
Oh yeah.
After that, we get Solo and Tama Tonga come out with a very bloodied Kevin Owens. Looks like he was like run through the ringer for real. They're posted up in the ring. KO tries to come back and fight, but gets beat down again. And they show some footage of a car wreck outside. And I think, like, I missed part of that because, you know, got to eat sometimes. So I was getting some food, and so I missed part of that. But it looked to me like that may have been the initial KO. This is where KO got hurt, was that car wreck. So interesting to see where they go with that. Will it be Tama Tonga or Solo that says, "I did it for The Rock"?
I did it for the Rock.
Little Rikishi throwback, my bad. We get Carlito with Zelina Vega against Santos Escobar with Elektra Lopez. For me, I wasn't a big fan of that. Before we get into it, Rick in the chat saying, can we talk about how amazing Paul Heyman's facials and reactions are right now?
Oh
He's basically a hostage, and I'm here for it.
yeah. I mean, just it's amazing. And, you know, he's trying to beg and plead with Solo, like, please, this is not it. And Solo just ain't having it.
No, not at all.
So, but Solo still. So, I was a little pressed because it was like, oh, we're gonna find out what's going on with the bloodline. Like that was what was advertised, and we found out nothing about what's going on with the bloodline.
Well, all we got to hear about was an MFT, and I'm still not even
Yeah,
sure what
an
that means.
MFT, and then Kevin Owens got beat up.
So the Carlito Santos Escobar match, I'm not gonna lie, not my favorite match of the night. This felt to me like a rhythm match. The
Yeah.
big guy beats up the little guy. The little guy gets the comeback and the win. Like this was a rhythm match, and it just
Yeah.
wasn't there for me. I mean, I get what
I
it's
like-
doing.
I like Santos, but I think the LWO and Santos thing is getting kind of stale.
Yeah, they need to do something with it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm all for a slow burn in a feud, but this is burning out.
Yeah. I mean, there's a perfect example of it was Final Testament and Pride or whatever. You slow burnt it too long that everybody lost interest, and you had to bring in Bubba Ray Dudley to make the match interesting.
And interesting it was.
Yeah.
But
Well,
like I said, it's a rhythm match. Big man beats up little man comes back, gets the win. Not a fan. But they did take us into our main event, Bayley versus Naomi for the title. I liked it. I mean, a lot of people are upset about this match, but I liked it. It's a good showcase of both the ladies. Of course, if you watch anything that's outside of the ring, Bayley and Naomi, best of friends.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
And so it's good to see them showcase their signature moves with each other because let's face it, Bailey was not going to lose the belt
No.
here. She just wasn't. But I
Nope.
will say,
All thanks. Okay, hold on. You continue. Then I'll do my thing.
the interference at the end of the match was a nice addition. Yes, it was Tiffy time.
Yeah. 2 feet
Um,
time. 10 feet time.
Tiffany Stratton coming in and putting a whooping on both of them. And I mean, she did a good job. I will say the people get at like I have caught some hate over what I say about Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton is Chris Watson, but female. When she steps through the ring, when she steps through the ropes, there is none better. She is an assassin once she steps in the ring, but outside of the ring, come on, man.
It's Tiffy time.
Yes, I
My
did
boy
say
Ludwig.
female.
My boy Ludwig. Lucky
Um,
dog.
I will say, all in all, the Carlito match brought it down for me. I'm gonna give SmackDown a B.
That's what the guy asked me earlier, and I said a B. SmackDown
Like-
was a B show.
After last week's SmackDown, that was just absolute banger. This one was a bit lackluster for me.
We didn't find nothing out about the bloodline. They said we were
did
going to
not.
find out about the bloodline, and they didn't tell us nothing.
That takes us into Raw. We have main event Jey Uso come out. He starts a promo, but gets interrupted by Damian Priest. And I like the way they did this because Priest comes out and talks about, we had a match, and after it was over, after you just beat the hell out of me, you were like, we're going to make it. And you know what? We did make it. Or at least I made it. So, I mean,
Campeón.
it was a good transition into the, by the way, I'm champ. Of course, Damian saying that WWE, like Jay shouldn't be mad. Like he gets to be the first one the WWE feeds to him. And Jay put a verbal smackdown on Damian Priest that I don't think he was prepared for. Said the only reason Damian Priest is the leader of the Judgment Day is because Rhea's hurt. By the way, tell Rhea I said hi. Said that right now all he is to Jey Uso is Dom's bitch. Yeah, he said that out loud.
He
in front of
said that.
everybody.
He said bad words.
He did. And he said that you think, they're feeding me to you. Nah, bro, they're feeding you to me because at Backlash, I'm going to be the next world champion.
I'm
And
next.
I do think he believes every word of that. JD McDonough shows up, tries to interfere, ends up missing the mark on his interference and gets the champ super kicked in the face, which he was not happy about. Not even
Not
a
at
bit.
all.
So it was a good way to open Raw, I think. And the first match of the night was a good one too. Tag team championship match, Awesome Truth versus DIY. I'm a fan. I'm already waiting for my Regeneration X moment because why would there not be a Regeneration X moment? Lots of back and
Tommaso
forth.
Ciampa's been everywhere. He gave out the titles last week. He gave out the titles on SmackDown. Now he was in a match on Raw.
Oh yeah, I mean he gets around.
Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa.
Lots of back and forth in this one, and there's a couple of times I legitimately thought we were going to change champions. We were going to change title holders
Already.
because it was that good of a match. In the end, the champs do retain, and I thought, well, look, before I say that, the move they finished with,
It was pretty cool.
it's the what do they call it? The truth crushing finale.
Gold crushing finale.
No. The Miz's move is the skull crushing finale. This was the truth crushing finale.
Oh, that's what they called it? Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
double move and it's a whole thing. And they've got to do better. Do better.
Yeah. I like the way, I mean, because you could hear Miz yell truth, and they executed like it was awesome.
So
DIY is going to get theirs eventually. They got to,
absolutely
right?
they will. But when it's all said and done, the champs retain. They get up. They go to shake hands. Johnny Gargano is shaking hands with everybody. They reach out to Ciampa. Ciampa rolls out of the ring, doesn't shake nobody's hands. I did not get my Regeneration X moment, and it's Ciampa's fault.
Dang it.
I know it. I'm not happy about it. Out of that, we get Gunther. Gunther makes his return and says he can go after, he's not Target anymore. He can go after any title he wants to. And the one he's going after next is King of the Ring.
I am the hunter.
No, Bruss is the hunter.
Oh, that's fair. So is Gunther. Gunther the hunter.
Of course, Kofi and Xavier Woods come out, interrupt, and remind him that Woods is the current King of the Ring. So he is a plagiarizer.
What's the word he used? What is the word he used?
I don't remember, honestly.
Dang it! It's a
All I know is anytime you put Kofi and Xavier in the ring, it's hilarious.
usurper.
Usurper, yeah. Usurper.
Usurper.
But he reminded him, I'm the current King of the Ring. And that he's trespassing. He's a usurper. Ended up leading to a match between Imperium and New Day that New Day ended up winning it. But the big thing about this match wasn't really the match. It was Vinci got pinned. And Gunther comes out and looks Kaiser, just glares at him and walks off. And Kaiser gets in the ring and he's got Vinci and he gives him a hug. I knew right then and there, something is amiss. He gives him a hug, tells him it's going to be okay, pats him on his head. I said to myself, this is another Mafia hit. This is what's fixing to happen. They're going to kill him.
He's dead.
He did. And so they make their way out of the ring. And as predicted, Kaiser turns on him, beats the hell out of him, gets him over on the stairs, and gives him the same run around the ring drop kick to the head that he gave Kofi.
Oh.
And they get to the back, and he's like, I told you I'd take him out. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Rick saying,
That's what I
"Adios,
think."
Giovanni Vinci, and welcome Ilya Dragunov. We'll get to that in a minute, Rick. After that was done, we got Drew McIntyre coming out and telling that perv of a cameraman not to shoot up his kilt.
Don't shoot up my kilt, you perv.
I'm sorry. It's funny to me every time he says it. I like Drew McIntyre on the mic, man. I've always enjoyed it. He starts talking about CM Punk and why are you chanting for CM Punk and CM Punk this and CM Punk that and I was robbed and blah blah blah, because that's what he's done as of late, is talk about how he was robbed. You attacked me from behind and Damian Priest stole my belt. Sheamus's music hits. Yay, Sheamus.
Yippee!
And Sheamus comes out and says, fella, what's wrong with you? You know, we've been friends for 20 plus years. We've traveled the world together and you've always been a fighter and you're in the ring bitching and moaning. I don't understand. What's wrong with you? And he's like, well, you wouldn't understand. He's like, no, I do understand. You know, we're friends. We've had these banger after banger after banger matches. I don't understand what's wrong with you. And Drew gets mad. He's like, okay, friend, you want to do this out here? We could have had this talk in the locker room, but you didn't want to have it in the locker room. You want to have it here. So let's have the talk. You know, you're right. We have been friends for a long time. And I'm telling you this because I'm your friend. You talk about banger after banger after banger. It looks like since you've been off, it's been burger after burger after burger. Now, I'm going to say, you know, I'm not going to get all teary-eyed like the guy in the 90s, but leave Sheamus alone, all right? I hope that I look like that and can do what that man does when I'm 47.
And, you know, he caught so much crap online that he, answered it and was like, well, I wasn't expecting to be back until after the draft anyway, so I'm having to get in shape a little earlier. So it's like, I mean, he was catching some backlash for it.
You know, he had to leave with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah, the broken freaking neck.
If you don't throw a Kurt Angle line out there, are you really having a good day? I mean, really?
Yeah, I mean, fair.
But Drew sat right there at the commentating table while Sheamus had a match with Shinsuke Nakamura, which was a great match.
Right.
Sheamus looking even better than he did last week. Or I guess it wasn't last week, it was on Raw, wasn't it? No, it
Yeah,
was
last week on Raw.
It
Yeah.
was last week on Raw. Looking great. In the end, Sheamus able to get the win with the brogue kick. That's just a big old boot, man.
Oh yeah. I hate
And what I like about it is all the people that were talking trash, the crowd was 110% behind Sheamus in this match.
Oh yeah. That's what Sheamus will always be over. I mean, he's never gonna lose that. But
I
I
just need
hate-
him to go beat up Sami Zayn so he can finish the story.
Finish the story. I
Because
hate
nobody's
that
tired of hearing that yet.
like Shinsuke, his heel turn was like really good, and then he lost 3 straight times to Cody, and he just has not. He's been just getting fed to people since then, and I hate that.
I really think they've got something in the works for him. I just don't think it's going to happen till I think they've been waiting on the draft.
I hope. 'Cause,
I think they're going to bring people in for Shinsuke to work with.
yeah, maybe he could be a. It's just hard to think who might get drafted where
Well, we fixing to
with the
talk about
current
that.
storylines.
Yeah, we're about to talk about that. So we go backstage after Sheamus gets the win. Bronson Reed beating up Sami Zayn, telling him that Intercontinental title is mine whenever I get ready to take it. And just beat him up ugly. So that's going to be a hell of a match.
Oh yeah.
From there, we get Chad Gable. Chad Gable well on his way to a full-fledged heel turn. Like the
We
Alpha
got the Uncle
Academy
Howdy
comes out
teaser
with
before
him.
the promo started.
Say what?
So we got the Uncle Howdy teaser before the promo started.
We're going to get into that too. Chad Gable has the Alpha Academy and just goes off on all of them. Goes off on Tozawa. Goes off on. He called Otis the biggest disappointment of them all. What? I'm not happy about it. I'm really not. Yeah, dumb as a box of rocks. So the thing that gets me about it is if they let this cook, Chad Gable's heel turn is going to be the stuff fables are made of. This is going to be great. And not only did he turn heel and just tear down the entire Alpha Academy, they all saluted him afterwards. There's the psychology in that. Man.
Yes, the boss.
So from there, we go to Ricochet and Andrade versus JD and supposed to be Dominic Mysterio, but I guess he's having sympathy pains for mommy because he had his arm.
That's what it looked like to me. When I first saw it, I was like, he must be just, sympathy pains or something.
That's it's got to be sympathy pains because he don't ever fight. So,
Fair.
But instead of him, we get Santos Escobar. And when I say this was a great match, this was. First off, you got Ricochet in the match, and anytime you have the human highlight reel in the match, it's going to be one to watch.
I just love Andrade too.
I do
in
too.
the ring. Oh man.
And putting the two of them together, bravo. Great move because that was insanity.
Yeah.
So Ricochet and Andrade, of course, getting that one. And then we went for the main event of the night, I don't remember, it was 14 or 15 woman battle royal for the women's title, for Rhea's women's title. Now, there were 2 camps going into this. There were those that believed Liv Morgan was going to win the match, and there were those that believed Becky Lynch was, or 3 camps, I guess. Because there was those that believed Liv was going to win, those that believed Becky was going to win, and those that believed Nia Jax was going to win.
Yeah, me and you talked during the match, and I did not think Liv was going to win. I thought one of the other 2 would win.
I was leaning more towards Becky. I wanted Liv to win. I'm not going to lie, but the more I thought about it, the more I really think they need to cook that character. Speaking of cooking, Rick saying, let me cook for a minute. The Academy does the dirty work, but helps Gable achieve the IC belt, alienating the rest of the roster at the same time. Then Gable rewards them by replacing them with the Creeds, and now the former Academy members have no friends or integrity.
Ah,
Damn it.
And the Creed
I could-
brothers are a fitting, like, they would fit the Alpha Academy, you know?
They would. Like we need Rick. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. We need to get into this. Like we need to break this down. With the battle royal, we had all sorts of. Maxine Dupree not only eliminated Indy Hartwell, but eliminated Candice LeRae. Good for you, Maxine Dupree.
Thank you.
I was happy to see it. Of course, she went out not long after.
Yeah, I was about to say. Then she started swinging above her pay grade at Nia Jax, and that was not a good idea.
That's the hashtag for the show tonight. Hashtag swinging above your pay grade.
There you go.
In the end, Becky Lynch able to get the win. It came down to Liv and Becky. Like they got Nia out, and it came down to Liv and Becky.
Yeah,
And
they had like a whole 3-minute match on the apron.
yeah, they both go over the top rope. They're standing on the apron, kicking, punching, dropping, and finally Becky's able to give the killing blow to send Liv Morgan to the floor. And Becky Lynch, your new WWE Women's Champion.
I like how people are upset at, like, people are talking about, well, Becky just she hogs the titles, and people were ups. Yeah, I was like, she hasn't been champion in 2 years. Besides, I mean, she won the NXT title for a little bit, but she hasn't been a main roster champion in almost, before this, almost 3 years.
Yeah, it was back when it was two belt Becky.
Yep.
So all in all, for Raw, I liked what I saw on Raw. Like there were a lot of good moments. There were a lot of good promos. The matches, none of them really bad in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead for Raw, and I'm gonna give it an A.
I gave it an A minus, so I can.
You know what?
It,
I will give you that. I will give you that. There were a couple of problems. I will go with you. I will say A minus. A minus for
Alright.
Raw. Okay. So did you see whenever DX turned on Vince McMahon? I'm sorry. I mean, the EVPs turned on Tony Khan Wednesday.
yeah, I was. I like. Did you see? You know, because he's technically like a part of the Jaguars brass, and that they posted like a video of them getting ready for draft day, and he's like sitting at a desk wearing a neck brace.
I didn't get a chance to see that. but
Yeah,
I like that they're playing it through. I mean, I still think Tony Khan is a clown, but that's just me and everybody else. But you know, I digress. But I do like to see that they're playing that through. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's something that they're 100% ripping off of WWE, but that's okay because you know everybody gets their turn with that.
everybody gets one.
That brings us to this Friday night, which starts the WWE draft. Now, here's the
Yeah.
rule.
Oh.
Here's what happens. SmackDown's going to have 4 rounds, 16 picks on SmackDown, 8 to each brand. 6 rounds on Raw for 24 picks, 12 to each brand. Total of 40 people getting drafted. Now, there are pools. I don't have the pools pulled up, but there are pools for SmackDown. There's a pool for Raw. And here's the fun
Roman's
part.
in the pool.
NXT is available to everybody. NXT superstars are available to both brands. They're part of both pools. So I am interested to see where this draft goes. So let's start with you, son. What's something big you see coming from this draft?
Oh man. Well, one rule is all champions except the women's tag champs are safe.
Yes, they stay on their
So
brands.
that's kind of what I expected. I didn't really see. I saw maybe a chance Bailey might get gone, but then they started the Tiffany Stratton feud, and I was like, all right, there's no chance any champions moving. Then
Cody
they
and
set the
Bailey,
rules.
or Cody Bailey and Logan Paul stay on SmackDown,
and the tag title, and Grayson and
yeah, and the tag
anytime down
titles,
under.
and Damian Priest, Sami Zayn, Awesome Truth, and Who am I missing?
Sami Zayn, Awesome Truth, Damian, and Becky.
And Becky. They all stay on Raw. Now, the women's tag team champions, they will be drafted. They are eligible to be drafting. Champions advantage, I guess it is they can go to either, they can bounce between brands. But if they lose the belts, they go to whatever brand they're drafted to, the women for the women's tag champions.
Do you think they're gonna try to like introduce brand specific titles again for the women? I hope not. They're barely defending the ones they have.
Exactly. So I'm kind of hoping no.
But yeah, I hope that that's what it is that just they still get to go to all three brands or whatever.
So I'm going to throw this out there. It's absolute fantasy, but I've got to talk about it because it was the coolest shit ever. I mean, stuff ever. Excuse me. My bad. It was the coolest thing I've seen in a while. It was a TikTok, and it was talking about the draft. And it says, with the first pick of the draft, SmackDown chooses, and you just see violins all along the walkway, and got the Tron and everything's smoky and all that, and the violins play to a crescendo, and MJF's music hits, and it was cool. It was so cool. Like, do you understand how I would pop at that?
Yeah, I saw a report the other day that yeah, like you said, fantasy booking, of course, but
Yeah.
that MJF is under long-term contract and he's still nursing injuries. Like he's not listed on their internal roster still, but when he's ready to come back, they're going to bring him back. So
I did see his next appearance has been announced. He's going to be at like a Comic-Con kind of thing
really,
as a guest. I think that's
Oh.
in July, if I remember right.
yeah, I don't know. This is a kind of a hard draft with like champions being safe. And what's going? I mean, so Chad Gable's staying on Raw. Liv's not going anywhere.
Right.
We may see maybe Naya's done just about everything Naya can do on Raw. We may see Naya go to SmackDown. I could see that happening.
I could.
Uh,
Rick said my obvious pick, like the one that just glares, especially since he just dropped the belt, is
Oh
yeah, Ilya Dragunov going. I think he goes to Raw.
yeah, I think so too. I mean, and Ilya, at some point you have to set up an Ilya and Gunther match, and it's
Oh.
gonna be just absolute magic.
I think we get Braun Breaker, and I think we get the Wolf Dogs, and we get them on SmackDown.
Think so?
Yes. I thought for a little while maybe we'd bring Trick Williams up. But the question is, having just put the NXT belt on him, do you bring him up with the NXT belt?
I don't think you bring Trick Williams. I mean, I don't think Trick Williams is necessarily ready to come up to the main roster. I mean, obviously the crowd's behind him, but I mean, you saw how long Breaker and Carmelo and Ilya even like took with the titles to really like show that, all right, they're main roster ready. I think Trick needs that Carmelo run. They're
get
bringing Carmelo up. They're bringing Ilya up. He's the usher of the new guard, I guess. Because they've been running NXT pretty much since 2.0 started.
Well, and at this point, like Carmelo Hayes at this point is doing side quests. I mean,
Oh yeah. Oh, he's. I think after the draft, he's done on NXT.
yeah, I feel Rick saying Carmelo Hayes, Ricochet, Finn Balor, and Imperium, including Ilya, to SmackDown. See, I think Ilya stays on Raw. Personally, that's me.
I was gonna say my big one was gonna be Gunther to SmackDown because at some point you have to do Cody and Gunther.
Oh yeah, that has to be a thing. Rick saying also they did announce that the rosters lock on May the 6th, which means that any NXT champion drafted could lose their title on the NXT before May 6th.
Yeah.
Which, I
Okay.
mean, I could see it.
Man, you know, I I don't think he gets moved to the main roster, but you know who I really impressed me at Stand and Deliver or whatever?
What's that?
Tony D'Angelo.
Oh
That
yeah,
dude
Tony.
can
Him and
go.
Dijak both.
Yeah, that dude can go. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, Tony D'Angelo, I think he's going to be part of that like NXT new guard for sure.
Absolutely, and I think you do get some main roster people coming down to NXT. I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that they got rid of Cameron, that they let go of Cameron Grimes. I really thought he was going to be the ones they moved back down to NXT to
Yeah,
help with the new guard.
it was just crazy. I mean, he got moved to SmackDown and did absolutely nothing.
Well, I mean, he
Nothing
didn't
at
do
all.
nothing. He played his part as squash matches for Braun Breaker.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like he's done absolute like of substance. He had no feud, no nothing. I'm excited to see a legitimate Braun Breaker feud. I don't want the Wolf Dogs being a thing. I want Braun Breaker to like. I mean, I wouldn't say go on a Goldberg s.
Roxanne Perez gets drafted, then loses her title on the following NXT to Julia. I could see that.
That's fair.
Oh,
Oh,
Moneybags
this
Matt.
guy.
What's up, Matt?
This guy.
Glad to see you.
Today's
in the
his
chat,
Friday.
brother. Matt, what's up, man? Glad you're here. We're talking about the WWE draft coming up starting tomorrow. Being devious, I believe that.
Yeah, that's not hard to believe.
Here's the question: people that are out right now, your Charlotte Flairs, do you see them moving? Do you see them being, when they come back to a different brand than they left on?
Maybe, probably not. I bet Charlotte stays on SmackDown. I guess. I don't know what's she even really on a specific brand. Not really.
I mean, she was on SmackDown when she got hurt.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
That's
I don't
kinda where
know.
I'm at
I
with that.
think. Yeah, I was about to say I just don't really see them getting. I don't think I saw Charlotte in the pool.
yeah, I don't think I did either. But
I know the only person I saw that like I kind of questioned because I think they're going to be out for a couple months is Roman. Roman's the only person I saw that.
I saw a report that says Roman is not scheduled for anything for the foreseeable future.
Yeah,
Like
that's what.
he's listed as indefinite.
Yeah, I was about to say I saw something along the same lines that he may take the longest break he's taken in his entire career.
Well earned break.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I got asked about something, and it's a good question. I don't think it works quite this way, but would you be for or against the idea of people coming in like debuts being drafted?
I think that would be cool. I mean, like one or two, not anything crazy. Like there shouldn't be 10 people debuting getting drafted, but I think like one like but it'd have to be like a big free agent signing, not
If it were me, and Rick will get a good laugh out of this one because I think he and I have talked about this. You draft absolutely 100% if the Judgment Day stays on Raw. You 100% as a debut draft Buddy Matthews. 100%. Because think about it. Rhea's hurt. Liv said, "I'm gonna take everything from you." Dom is gonna end up with Liv Morgan. That's what's gonna happen. Dom is gonna end up with Liv Morgan. It's gonna be a thing. And then when Rhea comes back, Buddy Matthews comes back with her, and then you've got Liv and Rhea. You've got Buddy and Dom. It's there was a whole lot of talk. I said that I thought Rhea was pregnant. I have been proven wrong on that, but
that ain't a low key.
That's not low key and that's not unpopular.
High key, very popular.
But people
She's
with all the
mommy.
talk about Rhea being pregnant, I would love to see some kind of angle where Rhea talks about being pregnant and Dom becomes a deadbeat dad.
That see,
Full circle. Full circle.
yeah. See, you're getting at SummerSlam. It's going to be Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, and Matt, dude, you should see her mans. Her mans would eat you, bro.
All right.
Look
Moneybags.
up Buddy Matthews or Buddy Murphy, whatever his name is.
Yeah, look up Buddy Matthews. You didn't have to do that. Look up Rhea Ripley husband.
Oh no, but
Hopefully that's one for
You're-
you to a 40 for you to drink on because that's as close as you're gonna get, buddy.
dude, I think at SummerSlam you get Liv and Rhea Ripley in a custody of Dominic Mysterio ladder match. I think that's the way you go with this.
Now there's full circle. Custody of Dom. All right, I gotta give you that one, son. That was well done. Rick saying that the only two real big stars out there that are already signed right now are Julia and Jacob Fatu. I've heard they're holding off on Jacob Fatu just a little bit. Like, I'm not sure what the plan is, but I heard that they're holding off on debuting him for a little bit. So it'll definitely be post draft that he debuts.
That dude, I had only seen like little highlights. I knew who he was. If you showed me a picture of him, I'd tell you that's Jacob Fatu. And then I saw video,
A highlight video.
and that dude is insane. I mean, he is too large to be doing the thing. Like, he makes Tiffany Stratton's prettiest moonsault look not so pretty.
He makes fast guys look not fast.
Yeah. I had never heard him called the Samoan werewolf until I watched that video, and I was like, it fits. It totally
does.
fits.
He is
Dude's a
badass,
dog.
man. And put him next to Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa, bruh.
Yeah, that's gonna be disgusting.
It's gonna be.
I did it
insane.
for the Rock.
I did it for the Rock.
I did it for the people.
Like, well, I don't know which one I'm gonna say it, but you know what'd be really funny? Because it's dad. Like if Solo brought in Rikishi and they say something about the wreck and Rikishi did it, and I did it for the Rock.
I did it for the people.
I'd pop. I would laugh my ass off. I think it's hilarious. But no, there's a lot of different things that could happen with this, and I like that they're getting Ava Rain involved, and I like that NXT is involved.
Yeah, so she's doing a good job as the manager of NXT.
Oh, I think so. I think she's doing a great
Yeah.
job.
She's doing good. I love that they did the women's North American title. I love that that's a thing. I mean, I would think women, especially with how great the main roster is, but now that you're splitting like into two rosters, it may be a little harder. But as the roster we have right now, I think like a mid card women's title would be great.
So this is a little off topic. Well, maybe not. Chelsea Green stays on Raw, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because, like, am I the only one that sees the sexual tension between Chelsea Green and Adam Pearce?
It's between everybody.
Like, does that not look like it's going to become a thing at some point? I mean, Matt Cardona would have a problem with it, but hey,
Yeah.
he's not here, right?
I mean, technically, you have you have Adam Pearce and then Adam Pearce with hair on SmackDown. He grows and shaves it. You know,
Pierce with hair.
he shaves it every Saturday.
I don't know, man. I'm excited for the draft. I'm excited to see who gets drafted where, and I'm excited to see how it affects the upcoming storylines.
Yeah, it's definitely the most like intriguing draft because it's like the most drafts they don't set rules like they're very vague, I guess, you know. well, we spend the whole time trying to figure out, well, what are we looking at here? This time they've said, champions are safe and all that stuff. Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious.
Can you imagine how funny the botched Money in the Bank cash-ins will be if Chelsea has the briefcase and she's dealing with Pierce? Comedy gold. That's the good stuff right there.
I'll say, Chelsea in the Battle Royal, she did awesome.
She did.
She does her job well.
Yeah, she doesn't.
I
get
don't
nearly
need to
the
talk to
flowers
her
for what she
manager
does,
because she does a good job.
but she may talk to yours.
Yeah, well, at that point, I must not be doing a good job. She knows a good job, so
Well, that brings us to 9:25, son. That's the it's the time for the final thoughts of the night, and of course, I'm turning it over to you to talk to everybody watching, everybody listening, and the wrestling world at large. The floor is yours. What you got?
2 weekends, 2 Saturdays, back to back, 15 shows on May the 4th. That is insane. 15 matches for $10. Can't beat that. Can't beat that. BCW the weekend after that, $15. You get to see Mike Caldwell's last match. You get to see him beat the crap out of Logan Knight. What are you waiting for? Be there.
And
The
we're
draft. Yeah. The draft. Yeah, fair. Got me there. The draft, exciting. I'm excited to see where it goes. I don't think storylines will really change until like after Backlash, obviously. And then after Backlash is whenever everything's going to be set in stone, and you're going to start getting the Gunthers and Cody Rhodeses and all that stuff. So, I'm excited. Exciting time. And the Raiders drafted Brock Bowers. I don't understand that, but they did it.
what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll discuss that after the show. What? I couldn't agree with you more, son. It is. Daddy Boss 74 said it in the chat. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It really is. Unless you like AEW, and then
Yeah.
No, I talk trash, but AEW is starting to run and roll too. Swerve Strickland winning the title, that
I
was a
think
big
that was
deal.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah, that was huge. He was. I mean, it doesn't get bigger than that. And so kudos to I talk a lot of trash about Tony Khan, but kudos to AEW for some of the stuff they're doing. Don't really understand Jericho winning over Hook for the belt, but they do what they do.
Go home. Go home.
But it really is a great time to be a wrestling fan, and independent wrestling is something that has to be experienced. Like, it makes me mad sometimes because I'll talk about independent wrestling and people immediately, first thought that goes to their mind is backyard wrestling, and it pisses me off every time it happens. The people that you see right now when you watch WWE, when you watch AEW, when you watch TNA, when you any of the big shows you watch, everybody you see on there at one point in time worked an independent circuit.
Yep.
They were independent wrestlers, and half the people there's so many
Logan Paul.
people on the West Texas independent roster right now that I have no doubt in my mind in the next year to 2 years, they're going to be the people you see at NXT and WWE and AEW. So get out and support independent wrestling because it's so hot right now. Man,
Yep.
is it hot. And it's like you said, $10 for the Squared Circle Pro Show for Tornado Slam, $15 for BCW Head Games. How do you do better than that? And one thing I didn't mention about Head Games that's really, really awesome and really, really important is that we have actually partnered with the Burkhart Center for Autism Awareness and Education on this show. This show supporting autism awareness, and just huge kudos to Mike for the give back that he has for the community. And this show is no different. He everything, all the profits from that show, from BCW Head Games, are going to the Burkhart Center for Autism Research and Education. So get your tickets for that. You're helping a great cause, and you get to see a bunch of great shows by people that you're gonna see on main rosters at some point in time. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for everything coming up. I'm excited for the draft. I'm a little disappointed in the Raiders right now, but we'll talk about that another time on a different podcast. For now, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. Let the draft begin.
Oh, dang it. I missed an opportunity. It was so you said let the draft begin, and then the pick is in jingle played, and I should have had the microphone, had it right there on the microphone. Dang it.
Mr.
All right.
Production Q.
Yeah.
Well, that does do it for us tonight, though. I want to thank everybody in the chat. I want to thank everybody that's watching, everybody that's listening. We can't do this without you guys. Thank you so much for all of the support you've given us over the last year and some change. We look forward to seeing all of you right here next Thursday when we do this again. Until then, I am Guapo. That's Little Guapo, and we are not your average marks. We will see y'all next time. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.